So we're here to continue Mike's 6th ride. I'm going to take him outside a little bit. It'll be his first real trip out of the pen. I'm going to show you what and where I do to get these things moving around outside the round pen. So we've got our gate over here, straight ahead. My general rule is I don't want to come out of the pen unless I can let myself out of the pen. So if it's somebody opening the gate, that seems a lot like cracking a chute. And my days of doing that, if they ever existed, are long over. So after that, I'm going to ride him around outside, just sort of around the perimeter of the round pen. We're going to not be able to get all of that on video, but we'll get an idea of how this first outside ride goes, which is pretty straightforward, pretty limited, not too ambitious. So I just want to see if I can get him up here alongside the fence and ask him to just stand still. That's all I really need. So I'm going to pop this. Now this will be something different. This gate's going to be swinging into him. I just want to see if he can move his hindquarters a little bit. Now, I give myself a pass on closing the gate, but I'm going to take him outside the pen, let him see the wide world. There's lots going on. In fact, there's a young horse out here who's been playing a bit. Hopefully that's not going to be a big distraction for him. So I just want to stroll around here. This is all familiar to him, but it's different because he's never had a rider on his back before out here. And hopefully we're capturing this on the video. I'm going to move him along and just take a little, the world's shortest trail ride. I don't know whether you can see it on screen, but there's a 2-year-old out in that pasture who would dearly love to play with him a little bit. So I'm just going to tip his nose and see if he steers out here. And then I'm going to come back through. And I'm just going to be as relaxed as I can be. Just let him get the feel for being outside. And this is what I would call semi-enclosed. It's not completely fenced, but there's a perimeter to the outside and the round pens to the inside. So it's almost like a nice broad track that he can follow. Over here is my wife's mare Lily, who thinks this is all pretty cool. So I just want to stroll around on him. Now here's the catch. If you just stroll, your horse is going to get a little bored. So he strolled that way, he strolled this way. Time to step up and see if we can cover a little ground. Just pretend we're going out to check the cows that we don't have. He's not quite sure where to go. I'll help him a little bit. And we're kind of making a snake track. That's okay. So we're up here. We'll see if he can bend around. And we'll come back through. So we're coming out the other side. And I'm having to support him a little with the rein. I'm going to see if he can come up here. See if he'll go across the parking lot. A little different degree of difficulty. See, he's getting more forward. And that boredom that he was dealing with is no longer a factor, especially with that filly out there, tail up in the air, bucking and farting. So that was good. I give him a lot of credit. And I'm just gonna sit down, let him stop. Now here's an interesting thing. Now I've been backing him up, backed him up in the pen, but when their feet are loose, they've got more forward momentum and they back up better. It just goes to prove that a backup isn't going backwards, it's just redirected forward motion. So pick up on him. And I'm going to stroll one time, and then that's enough for this first little ride outside. So this is the world's shortest trail ride. Lots of distractions, lots of places this could have gone wrong. And maybe that's the best way to do it. It's a more realistic test. If all the distractions are there and they have to face real life early in the process. So as expected, he could have steered better outside. At first he didn't know to go straight forward, but pretty quickly he got some forward motion and started carrying me along, and that forward motion is the first ingredient. So, I feel like I'm on a kid's pony. That's exactly how I wanted to feel. This pony hasn't made any mistakes, hasn't killed the kid. So I'm going to sign off now till next time.